Hey, so usually I don't get dressed up. It's been months since I've ironed a shirt, put on a bow tie, and just dressed up. But I had to give some virtual talks this week. And so my shirt was still pressed, so I thought I'd just talk to you and record myself in a nice outfit. I'm wearing my hiking shorts underneath this, so you can't really tell, but that doesn't matter. So this video is from day 2 of hiking the Lost Coast Trail's southern section. So this is in the Sinkyone area, and it's taken me a while to record a video about it. I've been busy, but I'm also thinking this is kind of therapy for it because that was one of my hardest hikes that I've ever done. It ended up being about 27 miles that I hiked in one day with a heavy pack, which was about 30 pounds. This was a new trail to me. I'd never hiked the southern section, and for some reason I wanted to do a long day. Well, the incentive was going to a brewery and having a nice regular meal, and then also checking into a hotel in Shelter Cove. So that was the incentive, and that was why I pushed myself that hard. But like I said, I did great for the first half of the trip, which was about 12 or 14 miles. But yeah, as soon as I got to about mile 14, which was about 3 p.m. in the afternoon, the hike just became a lot tougher because the hike ends climbing a mountain right before Shelter Cove. I think it's Chamizel Mountain. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But yeah, it's only, I think, 2,600 foot mountain, but it was steep. There's no water on the mountain at all, except for at the bottom of it. And so it was just a tough hike. And then the other thing is that when you get to the bottom of the mountain and at the trailhead for it on the northern part of it, usually people can hitch a ride for the 6 miles into Shelter Cove. But because of COVID-19, that just was not in the cards. I mean, people just drove right past me as I was trying to hitch. And rightfully so. I mean, we got to be safe in these times. But it was just a long day. The brewery closed at 9 p.m. And so I basically hiked that whole day, left at 6:30 in the morning, and arrived at the brewery at 8:55 p.m. I called them just to let them know I'm trying to get there. But yeah, I just made it in the nick of time. And the hotel that I was wanting to stay at was completely booked up. At least that's what they told me on the phone when I called from the top of the mountain that I hiked. So I was kind of sad about that, but I ended up calling from the brewery and they said, oh, okay, we have a room, so we'll let you in. So everything totally worked out. It was a traumatizing hike because it was so long and hard. But yeah, so the hike was a traumatizing experience for many reasons. I mean, the mileage, of course, was the most I've ever hiked. And what else? And I should have taken more water. So that was the thing. So right before the climb of that mountain, there's a creek, there's a water source there. And I probably only took about a liter of water, and I still had a good 6 to 12 miles to go. So I should have taken more water because I ended up running out of water just before the summit, and it was a hot day. So yeah, I went without water. I had a heavy pack of about 30 pounds on this long day, and I was just I was dying towards the end. So yeah, talking it out now is my counsel, or it's my therapy session, I guess. And so one of the things about this video is that I saw that I didn't post any videos or photos from the climb of that mountain for the most part. There's a couple of photos I took, but one thing I just saw was that all of my videos are from the first part of the hike. And rightfully so. I was just like too focused and just concentrating on just finishing the hike, which was a tough one. So enjoy the video, and yeah. Enjoy the video. Thank you. Bye. Morning. It's day 2. Yesterday I got about 10 miles, 10 to 11. So, and I'm at Little Jackass Camp. 4 miles will get me to Wheeler Camp. Yeah, 7 hours, 10 plus miles. Today I'm getting up at 6 so that I can maybe put in 12 hours, and then we'll see how far I could get. Shelter Cove would be luxury, but it just depends on how this trail is. So we will see. Okay, this is about 90 minutes into my morning on this very long day. And I don't know how it happened, but as I was on the trail, I just happened to look up and someone was looking at me. And it's this guy right here. And that was my attempt to whisper sweet nothings or some sugar to this guy, because I'm sure it's close to rut for them. So that was me trying to imitate an elk cow. About 3 miles so far today. Had my first elk sighting. It was a male. I don't know how many points it had on its rack, but that was pretty cool. So I'll keep an eye out for those guys. There's the ocean. Today's different from yesterday in that it's totally clear, but it's hard to see. Thought I heard somebody. Somebody down there, meaning an elk. Anyway, wow, I can see lots of rocky cliffs out there. It's hard to see. Anyway, I got several more miles of that to deal with. Almost at 4.5 miles. Wheeler Camp, I think that's the 3rd camp of the trip so far coming up. But right now I'm down at the coast, so that's why I'm just taking a little break, a breather. It's about 9:45 in the morning. Got about a 1.5 mile pace. Trail was okay. It was a bit of a climb. I got up to 1,000 feet, but wasn't too bad. I did see an elk, which was cool. So they're all over the place. I've seen a lot of evidence of them. Yeah, beautiful. I think I could see Shelter Cove way up north, and that kind of depresses me because that looks really far. It's cool. The redwoods just come and go here. So I mean, a lot have been logged, but every once in a while you'll run into a grove of them. Here's one right here. And of course, I have to give it a big hug and a kiss. Little pit stop at Bear Harbor Camp. I don't know how many miles I've done today. 9, and it's noon, so I just had a little snack break. Here is a picture of what I'm looking at. That's where I've been, on those cliffs that way. I don't know how far down, but yeah, I've been somewhere down there, or maybe around the corner is where I camped last night. And now the race is on to see if I could get to Shelter Cove, or if not, then I'll just camp just short of it somewhere. Still plugging, a little over 12 miles. Park ranger just passed me and said I was making really good time, so maybe there is hope. I wish I could flip this because I wanted to show you. I could actually see Shelter Cove. It's not as far as I thought it was. It's within mouth-watering food distance. Oh wow! And here is the Needle Rock Visitor Center. Okay, that's where I'm pulling into right now. Just made it to the visitor center, Needle Rock. Now I could kind of see what I got ahead of me. So there's a big peak behind me. That's what I'm going to climb, and then I'll have 4 miles of road to get down to Shelter Cove. So let me see if I could point it out. So the guys, the rangers I just saw said I was making good time. So that's a good sign. But this right here is the peak I have to get to the top of. That's, I don't know, 2,000 feet. And then that's nothing. I'm from Washington, so that's nothing. And then Shelter Cove is this low thing right out here. So I have to go up that and then take some road, hike down some roads, 4 miles, or get a hitch, and then Shelter Cove. And hopefully a hotel room. I don't mind treating myself. And then brewery, or I heard there's Venezuelan food. So I've been thinking about food and beer for since yesterday. So that's the goal. and I think I'm doing okay time-wise. I think I got it. Now I'm kind of wishing that I had those clouds and no view. It is just really hot, and the sun, it's just surprising how hot it can be up here in Northern California on the coast. And then all the while that mountain is taunting me and beckoning. That's the mountain I'll be heading up in the next few hours. That's about 6 miles away to the very top. And then another 4 or 5 to Shelter Cove, which is my destination. So, ending is at least in sight. And there you go. That was the last video I took of the day. So I took a few more pictures, but not that many. I would basically get to the base of the mountain, and then it would just be a test the rest of the night. But I made it, and it was worth it. And there was beer and a bed waiting for me.